Uganda's new license plate tracking surveillance system is raising concerns about privacy rights and freedom of association and expression, according to a report by Human Rights Watch. The system allows the government to track the locations of all registered vehicles in real time, including foreign cars temporarily in the country. Human Rights Watch is urging the government to scrap the system. For more insight, VOA's Ndiho spoke to Oryem Nyeko, the author and Uganda researcher at the Human Rights Watch, about the surveillance system.
Human Rights Watch, this past week, we put out a statement talking about Uganda's new, what they're calling the Intelligent Transport Monitoring System, which is basically a surveillance system that has been introduced in the country that includes attaching tracking devices to the number plates of every vehicle in the country. The owners of private vehicles are going to be required to register anew for these new number plates in February next year. That is going to allow the government to track their location in real time at all times.
That's scary for a lot of people, especially people who own private cars. If these were government cars, I would say sure. But you're looking at invasion of privacy here. Absolutely.
I mean, I think that it poses several risks to the restriction of people's right to privacy. I mean, the authorities knowing or having the ability to locate where every vehicle is at a given time is very risky.
There are people who said that perhaps this is not a new thing. This has been going on with, of course, the introduction of the CCTV cameras that came back a couple years ago. In Kampala, you have cameras all over the streets. So there are people who argue that this is not a new thing. It's been going on, and it's a way of Uganda trying to make sure that its citizens, its people are protected.
The government has been steadily increasing its capacity to surveil the population, first with the introduction of those CCTV cameras that you mentioned, but now they're adding to it with the number plates, and they're also adding new cameras, they say, that will have the capacity to do facial recognition and also recognize other elements in vehicles like the number plates.
Would it be fair to say, for example, I've been to countries, even here in the United States where I am, there is surveillance all over the place. Once you buy a car, it's registered in the system. Everybody knows if police stops you, they can easily pull up your record and make reference, connect your address to the ownership of the car. Now, how is this that I'm describing different from what we have in Uganda?
Yeah, it's true. Most countries in the world surveil people in some way or the other. And the difference in this particular case is that Uganda is taking it a step further by adding these tracking devices. There's no other country in the world that has the capacity to track every single vehicle in the country. It's important when we talk about surveillance to remember that the right to privacy is a right, of course, that, like most rights, can be inhibited in some way, but it has to be done in a way when it is strictly necessary, or alternatively where the surveillance matches the issue, the risk that is trying to be addressed. In this particular case, that doesn't apply. The risk that we are trying to, that the government is trying to address, just doesn't match the limitations on people's rights to privacy.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
That was Oryem Nyeko, a Ugandan researcher at Human Rights Watch, speaking to VOA's Ndiho.